James, I daren't ask, but have you got any fresh injury concerns for this weekend against Dagenham?
Yeah, it's the usual at the moment. We're obviously limping over the line, if you'd like. However, there'll be a few players that won't be able to stop playing because they want to do it for the club. They know we've really run out of lives, if you like, in our playoff hunt. It's a must-win tomorrow. We know that, but it's also a must-win for the opposition. So, as a neutral, I'm sure tomorrow's game is going to be one heck of a game. I'm actually looking forward to it, even though I'm on one side, and I'm sure the Dagenham staff and players are too.
In terms of the players that have sort of been nursing problems over the last few weeks, Curtis Weston, Gavin Gunning, Alex Whittle, will they be involved tomorrow?
We hope so, but it's day by day at the moment because there's reactions, sometimes there's adverse reactions to training. It just purely depends on who gets through training today and how they feel tomorrow.
Realistically, just how much of injuries hurt your promotion bid? Because I don't think any team could deal with the number of sort of first team players that you've had to deal with out.
Yeah, but we can't make excuses. We pay a playing squad, and the results have been too inconsistent in the last 6 weeks, and that's why we find ourselves in this position. There's been a whole host of outliers. However, and some are a little bit abnormal because you do pick up injuries normally, but you're quite right. 9 injured, 8 injured for the last 6 weeks. It's been too much. And relationships have broken down because obviously new relationships are trying to be built, and they're pressure games. So of course it all mounts up. However, I have no doubts tomorrow, whoever puts the shirt on, especially with the supporters back, like I said, it's going to be one hell of a game, and I'm sure we can influence it the way we want to.
What needs to improve from the Wealdstone game to turn 1 point into 3?
I just think we died of energy in both halves. I think we started both halves really positively. It looked like the opening was coming, but we lost our way in both halves. Again, I put that down to new relationships being built in certain positions. Obviously, the consistent players that have played didn't play, and we struggled really to open them up, to be honest.
How did you find not being able to be in the dugout to help and be as involved in the game?
It's frustrating, but everyone has to be accountable for their actions or their behaviours, etc. I've got to be accountable for mine. I broke a couple of rules, but obviously I'm passionate about the right decisions being made, and certainly with the level of game tomorrow and what's at stake, I hope the officials are strong.
How much are you looking forward to managing in front of the Spireites fans for the first time, James?
Yeah, I can't wait. It's been a long wait. The messages I've been receiving the last 2 days have been outstanding. There's a real togetherness, is clear, and I'm sure that the lucky ones that have got the tickets can't wait for the game to get started.
How bizarre is it that this is your 34th game in charge, but the first time you'll be there with Chesterfield fans with you?
Yeah, it's been a bizarre season. There's been a lot of things going on. We've certainly had our hurdles to overcome, but it's great to be in this position. I said from the start, if we can, when the supporters come back, because we weren't sure when they were going to come back, if at all, but if they were to come back into the stadium, one of the main objectives was have something to play for, not a relegation battle, rather something to play for with hope, and we've certainly got that tomorrow when they come in. So it's going to be a day to remember, I'm sure.
Could they make the difference from last weekend to this weekend? E.g. last weekend, if there had been supporters in, could they have given your players just that little bit extra energy and a little bit extra pickle?
Without doubt, it generates energy, doesn't it? It generates that extra yard for sure, and they're going to have to play their part tomorrow. We really need to make sure we play with an energy that matches the supporters, because I know it's going to be very noisy. I've been here before as an opposition assistant manager, so I know what it's like when it's going, and I'm sure it's going to be going off tomorrow, and we've got to play our part. We've got to give them something to shout for, and we've got to get after the opposition straight from the get-go, which I'm confident we will.
We've talked a lot this season about community, particularly from the community trust, and you coming in and talking about that. The fans obviously contribute to that, but I just think it's a lovely touch with the programme sales, raising money for for the NHS this weekend. I think that speaks volumes about Chesterfield as a club.
Yes, there's been major strides off the field, and there'll be, I'm confident, and that's why I've chosen this role as my next step, because I know what the board and the plans and the off the field staff are doing. It's, we really have come together on the field and off the field, but ultimately we're being led by the direction and the decision making from the board, and it's been first class since I've been here.
Yeah, I mean, just incredible courage and sort of openness shown by Dean Newman, the club's former director, with his difficulties with skin cancer. I mean, it just shows how football can come together and provide that focal point for people and that support network.
Yeah, it's really important, and also it's been really important that we give people some hope during this time as well, because it's been really difficult, hasn't it, for everybody in all walks of life. And being able to tune in and watch us twice a week regularly for the last 4 months has given certain people direction. I know for a fact, because obviously I've received messages for those people, and all round I think the club have done an outstanding job in the streaming. The communication's been better than what I believe than it has been for the previous years. So it's really looking positive, and we have to remember where we've come from. When I took over in November, so much has been achieved. It's this last little hurdle now. Can we get 2 wins and get in those playoffs, which would probably be a good mark of the success that's being made. When I drove into the ground on Monday to see the queues of the supporters queuing for tickets, I think that can be a mark of the success of the board, really, since I've arrived, and their decision making.
You've already described it as a must-win. I mean, with victory this weekend, you can have your fate going into the final weekend back in your own hands. Is that an extra motivation?
Well, I just think we need to focus on one game at a time. We'll need 2 wins in my mind, and it's more than achievable, because we've gone on runs of 6 wins in the previous month. So I'm sure we can do it. But the 2 opponents now are both up the top end, in and around it as well. So bring it on.
I mean, is Dagenham as big a test as you could expect this weekend, given they've dropped 2 points in 8 games?
I think it might benefit us, though, the position they're in, because they also have to go for the jugular. They are a technical team, which will suit us as well. They'll want to play football, they'll be expansive, and that will help us as well, because we're that type of team. And I'm actually really looking forward to seeing the game as well, and as a marker to where we are.
Will the key be stopping Angelo Balanta and Paul McCallum? I mean, 6-8 and 8-6, they are on hot form right now.
Yeah, of course, they're major threats, and they've been major threats at this level for a while. But obviously I've seen their game over the last 4 years when they played for other clubs, and they've come together at Dagenham, and they've hit form perhaps too late, because it seems like they're dwindling hopes of the playoffs. It's a long shot for them. They can only get to 65, so it's really out of their hands. But they'll focus on themselves, I'm sure, and they'll want to come here and turn us over.
Yeah, I mean, 8 teams competing for 3 spots. I mean, it is an exciting finish to the campaign. Well, at least for the neutral.
Yeah, it's good, and it's what the National League wants, I'm sure. And those clubs are all vying for those positions. Obviously, Notts County's win on Tuesday makes it difficult to catch them, depending on what happens tomorrow for them as well. But we've got to focus on ourselves. Like I said, you can focus your energy on everybody else. What are Dagenham going to do when they come here? What's happening with Bromley, etc. No, that's not what we're about. We need to focus on ourselves and get back to the performance levels that have got us success.
Enjoy, James, with the supporters. Good luck.
Thank you.
Good morning, James.
Hiya.
How beneficial has it been this week to have no midweek game and have a fresh run at it ahead of Saturday?
Yeah, it was needed. We needed that. We've taken a breather, come right off it, and obviously now building since Wednesday into this game tomorrow. The players have trained really well, and we're really looking forward to the game.
What will be your message to the fans who are turning up in their droves tomorrow? What would you like to say to them?
Well, many things, but ultimately the message will be how we play. We need to match their passion. We need to match and understand, which the players do, what's at stake you've got an opportunity to achieve something, and I'm sure our performance will match that passion, and we'll do our utmost to get the results, which in the main, since I've been here, we've played with passion. We've put it all out there, and when we've lost games, it hasn't been from the want of trying. So I have no doubts our commitment's going to be there. But the technical performance and what we want to do tactically needs to be bang on to get the 3 points tomorrow.
And where does this game rank in terms of importance, in terms of your own managerial career so far then? Is it the biggest one, would you say? They're
always the biggest ones. You always want to win the next one. Doesn't matter who you play and where you are. I see it as a bonus game for the club, because obviously no one expected us to be in this position when we took over in November. However, when you raise expectation and you go on such a good run, everyone expects you to blow everybody away week in, week out, and that's just not the reality of it, especially when you're playing Saturday, Tuesday for 4 months. It's caught up on us a little bit. Like I said, this week now, where we haven't had a midweek game, has come at a great time. We managed to patch a few up, and we'll see how they train today and who can be available tomorrow.
And you've touched upon it already. Has it got to be 2 wins from 2 in these last 2? You don't see any other scenario where it can be 4 points? You think it has to be?
Well, mathematically, 4 points could get you in. Mathematically, still 3 points could get you in. However, if I'm being realistic, 2 wins will be needed.